Alright, we should be back online. Unfortunately, I don't know if we're up and running on everything. Let's go check. We have been playing Mahjong all day so far. First 3 or so hours of this broadcast, so you have to excuse me. Boo. Alright. Can I get this title to work? Okay, yes. But we go reset back to quick, so let's do... I'm surprised the Magic the Gathering Arena does not have a goddamn category in Twitch. Let's see if that thumbnail stuck, or it didn't. Oh, it even... I intentionally waited for super long. There we go, 10 hole. I'm steadily... Oh, sorry. Steadily doing about 3 hours of Mahjong a night. While you're out there busting your ass working for money, I'm securing dual citizenship in glorious Japan, clearly. They're gonna ask me those fucking passport interview questions, and I'm just gonna show them a fucking receipt of my Tenho rank. They'll be like, well, welcome in, sir. Okay. There's no game. What the fuck? Show me my fucking game right now. There we go. Cast. White or green spells. Play 250 lands. Excited for the upcoming set and MTG Arena. So are our streamers. Do I get anything for that? Early access thing happening right now. I'm just saving up money for whenever Lorwyn Eclipsed actually shows up. Like, spoiler season has probably already happened. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm probably just going to keep playing my white deck in standard ranked, since we only have to play lands tonight. I am hankering for a new deck, though. Absolutely starving for it. I fucking hate tiny bones. Now he's just gonna fuck me. Hey guy, welcome back. I hope those people didn't give you work, but rather paid you straight up without asking questions. I don't know, I'm so fucking jaded on the IT industry over here. Like, I'm a C++ creature. And, they just don't want to give me shit. I applied for jobs when I was, like, coming out of university. I didn't even study it in university. I was a C++ fiend on exiting high school. Oh, you straight up can just destroy that. And they saw my self-taught ass and said, you know what? You don't deserve shit. You don't deserve crap. You don't deserve bread on your table. Alright, yeah, you're just gonna remove my shit all fucking in. I'm gonna have crap. And so I haven't worked IT, ever. I mean, I end up working IT wherever I fucking work at, because no one understands what a computer does, apparently. I was hired as a journalist. I ended up doing video editing and reinstalling computers and stopping people's email clients from getting fucking lead hacksawed into oblivion. Can you believe that? I showed them a C++ only raw OpenGL 3.0 graphics renderer with like a bunch of pre-made scenes and shit. And they're like, you look like a junior. I'm like, can a depressed man render these fucking quads? I don't have a debugger for this shit, you pieces of crap. Do you know what I'm showing you? Do you even know what's on fucking screen right now? And like, all the... Because obviously, as every stupid fucking video game cunt ever, I try to get into all the, like, all three video game studios that have a studio over here. And one of them told me that I wouldn't find the work challenging enough, so I can't work for them. The other said that suddenly they cannot hire any new faces. And the third one straight up ghosted me. And I'm like, oh, well, guess this graphics programming shit is going down the toilet, huh? And not to mention, most of these fucking studios are making either still mobile games, or they're doing QA work for Western studios for like a fraction of the cost. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm showing up over here for you to make shit happen. It's such a sore fucking... I can feel it in my chest. It's like, oh, this is bitter hatred. I had to watch a gorgeous muse of a woman apply with a blank CV and get a position I applied for within the same couple of months. That shit nearly broke me. And I was like, holy shit. And like, I can't even fucking QA for you cunts? Is that what? I'm simultaneously too shit and too junior, and simultaneously too good wouldn't be challenged by this position. So I'm not getting employed, is what you're saying. And, you know, I tried making it work, and after like about a year and a half of being unemployed and being miserable, I figured, you know what, maybe I could try in some other shits. Do some other crap. Are you ready to pay 2 extra mana? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I'm making fun of a guy. He's trying his goddamn best. Seems to be like a value judgment they shouldn't be allowed to make on your behalf, honestly. If you're applying for work, you want to work. Well, they did it anyway. They sure fucking did it anyway. I don't know. I'm very disillusioned with it. I managed to secure a 9-month contract in a like media outlet that paid hand over fist for my presence there. I'm talking like maybe twice the average monthly salary in this fucking country. And it's a shame that contract ended. I would have been milking that cow till she doesn't moo no more, you know? And now I'm back here with admittedly some decent savings, but just a little bit miserable. Just insufferable, you know? And the problem is, right, I was talking to my boss back then. And he's like, you're getting paid essentially the most out of everyone in this fucking thing. You're a fucking 25-year-old scumbag. And I want you to work like an additional 2 months after this contract is over for free, so that, you know, we can distribute this money more evenly. And I said, sure, yeah. And so my contract ends a little bit earlier than I expected. It ended like start of September last year, when it was supposed to be until like at least the end of September. And I said, you know what? I'm technically not getting paid, but I will give you free tech support and edit stuff from home. I won't be sitting here for 8 hours a day not getting paid for shit. You know? And you can do that whatever. And I asked them, like I wasn't doing an evil thing of being like, oh, you didn't agree to this. I asked them, is this okay with you? And they said, yeah. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not showing up. And I didn't show up and didn't edit things for 2 months. I edited about 2 things total in those entire couple of months. And it was pretty rad. And I still have my journalism pass, which I, due to the absence of anyone else that was technically literate, only I could pilot the Photoshop file that produced those. So I gave myself one with such a ludicrous length that I can be a journalist for the next several millennia. Like I could be... And I met this guy at a house party a couple of months in who was also some kind of like contractor for like big government. Also like a very young guy, obviously. Who was in charge of like doing the systems for whatchamacallit, for like the personal identification cards that people have. And so his government issued ID has 42069 on it as like its ID number. And I was like, that's fucking rad. That's what we live for, baby. He was super fucking proud of it. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, shitty employment. And so now, when I open up the like job listings since essentially November, it's all gambling. Like I could be a croupier, I could be a shuffler, I could be a presenter, I could be anything in gambling. I could be working for Russian oligarchs. And what else? Oh yeah, I can work in a call center. Like, it's great. Everything else I see is like 5 years of experience, French, German, and knows the entire SAP tech stack, knows MongoDB on top of MySQL and Postgre, and is fluent in both Swahili, C++, JavaScript, and knows best practice. And I'm like, dudes. And you look at the salary and it's like, you're making $1,600 a month. And that's before tax. And I'm like, that's like max 20K a month. 20K a year, I mean. And I'm like, I ain't doing all the work for nothing. And so I'm just taking my time. I'm applying to shitty jobs. Like, I will be a maintenance man in the World War II War Museum. I will be a film restoration guy in the National Television Archive. I will be a leech. And if one of those sticks, I'm happy. I want to be in a fucking basement somewhere doing some random crap. I don't care if it's my career. I don't care about shit. Another thing that crosses my mind as a young individual in the 21st century is frankly that I don't have any aspirations as to what to do with my goddamn money other than like living. Like, I'm not buying a house anytime soon. I think you could find remote programming work whatever time zone you're in. The most picky about that, unfortunately. I think it's very crazy, though. I don't know how to get those jobs. I honestly don't have a clue. Like, I'm some Eastern European bumfuck. We don't have shit, anyway. And applying abroad feels like a trap. But if I get a cozy stay-at-home job, I also kind of don't know if I want that because I kind of want to get out and about and be in the city a little bit. My usual shit is like, if I'm unemployed, I'm mostly staying at home and like going out to like to the cinema with some folks every once in a while. Could definitely spend however much money on all sorts of stuff I want to do. It's very nice, first and foremost. Spending a lot learning on cars yet, I imagine. Having a lathe and a mill. Yeah, I've also been tempted by the evil machining desire, I guess. Like, I realistically want to be able to, maybe buy a video game every month or so and help with some of the bills. And, I don't know, maybe take some mates over to the fucking cinema every month or so. Like, I am feeling a sense of, like, unambitiousness drawn on by, like, late-stage capitalism that is tangible. Like, I genuinely have no fucking clue what to spend money on. I've been so frugal up until this point in life that, like, I can get most of the things that entertain me for free, and I would rather get them for free when I can. And, like, if I end up dying with $1 million in my bank account, I'm probably not going to feel bad. Probably not going to be the most miserable person on earth. But then, you know, I do think about the whole idea of, like, that whole Marxist shit about money being the easier way to store free time. I don't know if you heard about that. As in, like, money, the physical object of money, is a more compact way of storing all your free time, all of your ambitions, all of your interests, all the things that you would do if, you know, you had it because you're working. I don't know if it's actually a Marxist quote or not, but it feels correct. And, like, I don't know. The whole thing about, I'm not really responsible for anyone other than myself right now, which feels quite nice. I don't know what it would take to make me give that up. Obviously, there's, like, a certain couple of things. But I'm an irresponsible, borderline depressive maniac. I don't need much, but, like, here's a couple of books, here's some good movies, and, you know, time passes. It feels shit not to be working when I'm young, because I imagine if I start needing money and I'm, like, 60, I'll feel fucking terrible. Yeah, I'm kind of the same thing. I have this weird, almost Nietzschean idea. This is some anecdote that I heard very long ago. I don't even know if it's true. That Nietzsche, on top of being a sort of philosopher, worked, like, dead-end jobs his whole life. Like, he didn't earn money from his work. So he basically worked as, like, a mortician, a shit shoveler, a store clerk. And in his free time, he spent it essentially just writing philosophy and doing art. And to me, that's kind of, like, weirdly aspirational. As in, like, you could work anything. You could work for, like, very little money just to keep it keep the lights on and just do your shit. Because I find that I am very resentful of a kind of mentality that is like, how should I put it? You need to be a working person to have any value as a human being. That some people, like, they will literally sacrifice their personality, their life, their ambitions, their, like, relationships just because of work. Because work is important, right? But it can't be everything. Like, I can't fathom living to work. I would rather work to do something else. As in, like, finance some shit that I am passionate about. If the whole idea is, like, living to make bread and live... Like, thankfully, I don't have to pay rent. Right? I live in a family home. Yeah, maybe I can't bring girls over here as much as I'd like to, but for the most part, I feel like I'm in a really good spot. I want to take some of the edge off on some of those bills, but other than that... And I honestly feel like I should get to make this choice. Like, I don't think it should be like suck it up and go work, you boring piece of shit. Like, I don't think life is about that. Like, I think on an ideological level, I'm not about that. Even when I was working like 12 hours a day, doing like live broadcasts for that fucking media, I still made an effort to like go out with people, go see a fucking movie, go talk about it, write my fucking novel. Like, I just can't do the same thing my whole life. And I'm morbidly aware of this kind of bias that I have. I firmly believe that, like, variety is the spice of life. Like, I will get bored of something if I have to do it for, like, 2 weeks, let alone my entire conscious adult life. I've read that some psychological level time seems to pass much slower when you're making lots of new memories due to new experiences. I mean, if for nothing else than to stave off madness. Like, I need shit to do. If I keep myself busy, I get to feel good. Like, I might not be the most functional, like, adult human being ever. I'm a little bit too selfish for that. But I still try and get shit done. Like, in the morning, I will fucking make breakfast. I will fucking going, like, right now there's a big, like, money conversion thing, so I'm going and asking at the post office whether or not they can fucking take my money or not and make that into the good money again. I'm sitting here thinking about how to make that novel work because I haven't written a chapter in 2 months because I don't know what to do with it. I'm sitting here trying to, like, sometimes do a stream, even though that's not really useful per se, but to me it's something to do, right? I'm not the most sociable person on earth. Let's try talking about Mahjong for 2 hours, see where I can take that conversation, make myself slightly more sociable. Like, I used to not say shit for 8 hours a day on this broadcast, and I don't know. I just went with it for fucking 10 years. And only maybe like 7 years in did it register across my mind that this is supposed to be entertainment for other people as well. Like, it is supposed to be me being an active internet clown, filling your mind with ideas for, like, the duration of this broadcast and commenting on stuff, not just like, hey, everyone, let's just sit around the television and watch me play Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, you know? Because to me, that was the couch experience. I could get joy out of that, but most people need someone to be, like, a little bit hyperactive. And let me see what you said. I've had a long period of time where I felt like I wasn't productive with hobbies or even just having any fun day out, something. Like I'm wasting my time. And that's the mind killer. That to me is a small death. Like, it is... It's the worst that can happen. Like, the theft of joy is what happens. Like, sometimes, even now, I had this happen, I think, exactly yesterday. I was sitting here playing Quake at the end of the day. And I got so morbidly, like, fussy about the idea that I still don't have a job and I'm sitting here enjoying myself playing a fucking video game while, like, some of my mates are, you know, out there working, that I was like, I can't play this. I feel miserable having this fun moment for myself. And I stopped. And, like, sometimes I will look at a video game and say, you know, I don't deserve to play it. I should be doing something else, something more productive. And the reality of it is that most of the time, that probably isn't true. Like, I don't know if I have any tangible societal use for myself. I'm not going to cure anyone of cancer. I'm not going to save someone's fucking life. I'm not going to sell them the cow they're going to make into meat that they're going to, you know, I'm not going to harvest tomatoes in my garden and sell them on the local market. Like, that kind of life isn't available. You can't really do that in modern urban living, per se. You have to find some other way to be useful, and that's usually making either someone else richer or, I don't know, trying to be good to the people around you, I suppose, and using your money to make their lives and yours better. That's about all I can do. Maybe my perspective on this will change when I'm fucking 40 and I've lived another fucking 20 or so years. But for now, like, I don't want to feel guilty about rest. I don't want to feel guilty about taking time. Like, after all, isn't there, like, a fucking meme on the internet that says, you know, at some point on my fucking gravestone, they're gonna engrave, worked really hard and never took any breaks. Hey, if you can do that, more power to you, man. That's great. I personally don't have the kind of useful skills necessary to turn inanimate ideas into animate objects. It's a great pain to me. But I know a lot of people that don't have ideas, so who's the fucking loser here? Yeah, I can. But also I'd want to, like... how should I put it? At some point I thought about, yeah, maybe it would be good to learn how to, like, wire up some shit in my house. And I learned that, you know, three-phase electricity is about as clear to me as it can get. But, I don't know if I'm, like, built for it. Like, I don't know if I'm fanatical or enthusiastic about it. I'll watch, like, a big Clive tear down, like, electronics video every once in a while to, like, keep myself fresh and see some schematics. But, like, other than that, And obviously comparison is the root of all evil and despair. But, like, sometimes I will look at the average 20-something-year-old, which, you know, unfortunately I am one of, and they'll do even less. Like, I'm not saying they'll do nothing, but they'll do even less. Like, they won't bother to learn stuff like electronics because they think, oh, that's for people with, you know, pants that reveal their butt cracks when they crouch. I call on the phone. And like how many people do I know that are like trying to write a book? How many people do I know that like can even program shit? Like, I mean anything. I mean, like, use a computer properly. How many people know as much English or as much Japanese? Or how many people have this like stupid encyclopedic knowledge about like the video game industry circa 2010, circa 2015? Obviously not a lot, because they're spending their time doing something else that's valuable to them. But at the same time, like, despite everything, still an individual. Like, it's... I don't know. It gives me an immense sense of frustration when I see people giving their lives up to, like, sweat and toil to, like, just get rent. Admittedly, that's a very privileged kind of thing to be mad about. But I don't think modern living is helping that any. Like, maybe I'm going to be a pariah my whole life for this, but, like, I don't think the purpose is to just be a fucking worker drone. I really don't believe it. I simply refuse to believe it. Yeah, that's also a problem, isn't it? Like, even this square domain that we're currently conversing over is a bunch of young people trying to make it big in, like, a severe case of, like, the law of large numbers. When realistically, like, out of everyone we fucking know, statistically, Cobb is, like, the only one that can actually make it, because he has the hustle to do it. On top of, like, working a 9-to-5. As the guy that uses a soldering iron professionally. That's a very derogative way of putting what he does, but, you know. Yeah, like the idea that like the self-made man nowadays. Here's like a different, like mind-breaking perspective. Imagine if you told the average man in the 70s the expectation for him in life would be to be able to like program, be cultured, be funny, be like insanely rich instantly, know CAD, know how to machine stuff, know how to like rewire a house, be able to create penicillin from base principles, and essentially be capable of all of these things, including being a lawyer, a doctor, and a dentist, to get like a normal job. I've told them that too. I've unfortunately been in this, let's say, game, or more like been benched in this game for about 10 or more years. I've seen a lot of people think they can rebrand into like a character that is owned by corporations quite a lot. That's why I've always emphasized that like ARTV is a TV on which I am and has no recognizable commercial value. Like it has no iconography that isn't mine. Whereas seeing Cobb use like Konami property as his self-identification most of the time, to me is like, yes, this is an expression of love and admiration and fanaticism and, you know, all of those nice things. But admittedly, this is a business that you are engaging in. And at some point, if you get large enough, when do you stop being Bomberman and start being Cobb? Right? And, you know, more power to him. He's clearly doing quite a lot. Marvin's helping him make his VTuber model as fully fledged as she possibly can. And, you know, but I, as much as I know Cobb, I know that if it's not Bomberman, it's going to be Soldier TF2, it's going to be Mario, it's going to be some other kind of brand of mayonnaise. And, you know, it gives him the childish glee that he needs to live. Why should I take that away from him, you know? Why should I be the bringer of bad news? I would love for there to be like a Applecino sort of original character to appear, you know? But then he would just take a picture of Al Pacino and like stretch it over his skin tight suit. So I don't know. And again, we have to like kind of salt the wound over here and admit that clearly, as a person who has only ever seen mild success in providing Japanese fishermen in Final Fantasy XI with the right forecast for whatever kind of fish they need, I don't think I'm well equipped enough to tell you what works on this platform, so maybe he's right. Maybe he's just right, and all of these concerns are for naught. It's just in the back of your mind, you know. Yeah. I just the like he could do that. He could do that and make that his identity, and no one would bat an eye. He would be still as funny as the day he set out to do it. Oh yeah, I noticed this about myself. As in, like, I don't think I can be too much of a whore for people's attention. Like, I try to, like, not be super visible. As in, like, sometimes I will tweet out the show is happening, and that'll be it. right? I won't do the mass marketing approach of like, hey everybody, I'm doing this. Here's a fucking everyone ping. Here's a fucking clip announcing it. Here's a VOD announcing it. Here's a fucking social media cross post doing this. Like all of these little micro annoyances that I consider to be pulling teeth are essential for this kind of business. And I'm capable of doing them. I'm not unskilled enough to like edit my own shit. But I don't want to, because I don't want that to be the thing you see. Like my old employer basically hired me to make a YouTube channel from scratch. And he had a other channel that was like, I think about maybe... What is it? I'll check right now. You know what? Oh, we don't want this. That'll reveal too much. How much is it? $26,000 subscribers is the main channel. And they're currently live using the system I made. That's so fun. They still haven't replaced my assets, which is so hilariously funny you wouldn't believe. Like, I made this shit half a year ago, man. And the other channel was like basically translations of this into English. The first video I ever made for them made 75,000 views in like a week. The last video I made for them made about 50,000, and that was like 4 months ago. These were like feature-length, 40-minute plus kind of videos. And the way that that happened was a lot of money invested in advertisement. As in, like, these things are getting pushed to people with advertisements. A lot of my fucking employer nagging me to share it with all of my friends and sending it to people on social medias and all of that, which I'm like, this is not part of my job description. Like, I am a slut for everything, but I am getting paid money to edit, not to, like, have my social media accounts be used to promote my employer's work. And I thought that was a very, like, concrete line to die on. Because a lot of the other employees were, like, absolutely fine with it. Which I found to be really fucking weird. Like, if we're paying for my fucking personal real estate on the internet to be used as a billboard, we're talking different kinds of money here now. It's weird that they were fine with it. I wasn't fine with it. Because, again, that's my own personal shit. I own that. Those are my friends, my contacts, my network. No, like, I find it weird that those people were like, yeah, I'll share it with friends. I'll send it to people. I'll put that on my fucking feed. I will tweet this out. I don't know. And like, it was clearly doing well regardless. I don't think me personally advertising it to another 3 or 4 people will make a dent. Maybe, again, I'm taking the completely wrong direction here and being completely wrong. But I don't think my circle of friends will make a dent in the algorithm enough for this to happen. Now, obviously, if you ask absolutely everyone and everyone agrees, then you have probably a statistically significant crowd. But, I don't know. God, it is funny though. How some of the most watched things on this fucking channel are mine. Sorry, that gave me a tidbit of an ego boost. I'm very happy. Though whoever is making the thumbnails for these is using an old Photoshop file and not really aware of how to use it. Like they refuse to edit it because they don't know. And these thumbnails are getting more and more cursed every time they delete something and reuse it. Oh, man. It feels like the one that got away. I could have worked there for like another 10 years and made $1 billion for nothing. But that's life. I don't know. At the same time, I feel like I'm an intelligent, well-adjusted person, and the other 90% of the time is when I feel like I'm a dipshit that doesn't deserve to breathe. You know, it's a really weird coin that flips every fucking morning. And it's mostly societal shit. I don't know why I'm so susceptible to it. Maybe that's just something that appears over time. You just have more self-confidence. Because, like, you fucking kick some motherfucker that has just gotten out of university and you tell him to write a fucking OpenGL engine from nothing. I know a bunch of people that graduated with, like, proper computer science and informatics that probably know all of that business enterprise shit, but can't for the life of them, like, adapt to something outside of their competencies. Which, my friend Ice, whom I used to go to high school with, had this very appealing theory about computer programming and computer science, is that some people are really good at coding, and there's some people that are really good at programming. And those are two different terms. Why? Because there's some people that, much like myself, don't have that kind of strictly regimented, super like data pattern, use reusable templates, have boilerplate, have like a diagram. What is it called? A UWP diagram? I don't remember anymore because I don't do those. You know, I've fucking never cared for him. No, UWP is Universal Windows Platform. That's not the thing I want. But it is close to it. The ones with the fucking rhombuses with the arrows that mean different shit. God. I'll remember. It'll be too late. So there's obviously people like me that don't do that. Probably going to have a hard time getting a job in big programming enterprise because, well, they want people to know fucking patterns. They want them to know architecture. They want them to know things. Those people are probably really good, like, software engineers. Those people are really into it. They can make these, like, big elaborate systems, messaging, all of that. And then there's grease monkey fucking coders that are just like, I will make this explode in your eyes and then worry if it works or not. That's how, like, I think most open source software works until, like, there's a big consortium that shows up in the top that says, you know what, we need to, like, structure this a little bit. Otherwise it turns into, like, a rat's nest of spaghetti code. But I find there is a sort of purity to spaghettified code and shit, like no principles programming. Because that is where shit fucking happens, man. You will find new patterns of unfathomable complexity by like piping some shit through something that wasn't supposed to be there. And maybe that's the C++ cunt in me, because, you know, I could have a pointer to anything if I want to. I could fuck things up so royally that, like, no debugger on Earth could possibly solve this. They couldn't find the symbols for what I'm fucking doing. You know? Oh, I know about those people, but those people are the guys that like MATLAB and are actually into mathematics. I have a C in mathematics. Like, I get anxious when people ask me about multi-threading because I don't use it. Like, I haven't made an async mutex ever. Not once. I haven't needed to. My shit runs really good. I'm just like very old hat. Product type corresponds to logical conjunction due to the Curry-Howard corresponds to St. unknown calculus. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's I imagine how Haskell people sound. And like every once in a while I'll get the fucking urge to like automate something. And I'll do it in like a Python or like a C# thing. But like I don't have practical terms for programming anymore. I used to make games, but now my ambition has grown so large that like I would need 10 years just to make the engine, let alone make a game in it, you know? That's what kind of stopped me from making my engine in the first place, is because I realized it's like an infinite abyss. It is. I could just do nothing but make this engine. And like I would learn so much doing it. I did learn so much doing it. Like I was making some kind of matrix manipulation stuff that is so far beyond me. Holy shit. Like I was sweating bullets every time I have to edit that fucking header file. But, you know, it happened. And I'm probably a better programmer for it. But like I don't know. Maybe I'm just set out to be a bum my whole life and be like a kind of bourgeoisie parasite. Just working random crap. I don't need a career. That's me talking to myself, not so much, you know, giving you life advice. I hope you understand that. Man, I am fucking gold. Is there like a really crappy deck? I don't know how to be a go-getter. I don't even know how to pretend to be one. Like, yeah. I mean, if it's comfy and it's paying your fucking bills, sure. Yeah, but, I don't know. I'm very risk averse, honestly. My whole life has been minimize risk and minimize having to pay for shit. That's why I think in like my last job, I was very, very good. Because that was essentially the environment where you had to make shit happen from nothing. Like we didn't have footage. We didn't have a camera operator that walked around to get like pictures and video for like any of the news that we were broadcasting. Like it was ex nihilo, all of it, nothing. And, you know, we managed to make a bunch of like documentaries from nothing. We managed to make a like live discussion panel with like people getting invited. Oh, that was so embarrassing. We had an actual live broadcast with a studio audience once because my boss was so convinced that this show is bringing in 100 viewers a fucking Wednesday. Oh my God, 100 people are watching this shit. We're making it big, boys. And I'm like, 100 people? Bitch, I was bringing 100 people for fucking fishing. 100 people is nothing. That can't do shit for you. And so he rented out this, basically this, like cinema theater kind of thing. They usually broadcasts rather like independent and European cinema stuff. It's quite a nice place. It's just a little bit like it's more cultural center than it is, an actual cinema. And his idea of having 100 people show up was invite literally every single person he knows and every single relative he has to that place. Like, I basically met the extended family then, you know? It was like the entire room is filled with my colleagues that are just getting off of work and have been asked, hey, can you show up here for like the first hour or so? And I'm like, dude, they worked a 9 to 5. That woman has been studying the news beat for like the last 8 hours. Let her go home. You insensitive prick. And, well, I think out of, I don't know, let's hazard a guess. How many people could that fucking room fit? The whole first row was me and the other 2 operators. Operator being like a camera operator, not any other way. So that's like 5 rows of like around 5 to 7 people. So like 35-ish people showed up. And I think 4 of those people weren't related by blood to someone. Like it was pretty fucking crazy. Like I was a little bit secondhand embarrassed. Admittedly, we did quite a good broadcast out of it with the limited space and limited technology. It was done over fucking Wi-Fi. That. And I had to... Maybe I shouldn't admit this. Maybe I shouldn't admit that I illegally obtained a Wi-Fi password. Well, I did. But it was... because they weren't answering the call to tell us the password. And like... I did a bunch of that shit. I did a lot of things that were borderline illegal. I was really good at my job. I hacked into a Windows account that was locked to gain access to a computer via a USB that boots before the operating system in the BIOS. People looked at me like I was a fucking wizard doing all this shit. I installed Linux on a barely functional computer with a failing graphics card and made it work. And that made them feel like I was a wizard too, even though it's like the easiest thing in the universe. Like, just anything. Anything I did there was wizardry. And like, it was a little bit embarrassing how, like, I had 2 colleagues that were essentially borderline the same position as I was. But they were getting like 1/6 of my pay. And And like those were the people that I had to work with on a daily basis, and I felt really bad for them. So like I did the best I could, and I was paying for dinner when we went out, and that's kind of it. But what really fucked me up is like they would look at me, and I would tell them shit about like literally anything I think is like just like random popular culture. Like I'd tell them about The Godfather 1, and they'd be like, "What is that?" Whoa. I'd tell them about like some random YouTube shit from like, I don't know, a couple of years ago. That's more niche information, but like never heard of it. You heard of Nine Inch Nails? You heard of like Depeche Mode, David Bowie? Nuh-uh. You know how to use a computer? Yeah, I do. And they sit on it and they like click with their mouse, and like they don't do keyboard shortcuts, and they make these like file names that have spaces in them and Cyrillic letters and then Arabic, and like, yeah, good luck finding that in a terminal. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there on a computer with like FFmpeg open that is like manually editing onto like file streams of like videos, putting in intros and outros, and then running full audio conversion for the podcast, and then converting to 16:9 with like a pattern. And I just like walk up to the computer, run the fucking script, and then like walk out for the rest of the day because I'm like sitting there playing Dwarf Fortress in a terminal. And because it looks like a console, they think, oh yeah, he's doing some work. And I'm just sitting there fucking farming unicorns and selling them to elves. Man, it was such a good job. It was such a good job. It's a shame. It's really a fucking shame. Every once in a while I think, maybe I could have agreed to work for less money and, you know, kept that going for as long as I could. But then, you know, thinking about doing the same shit I'm doing for like 1/6 of the pay, not meaning that I'm going to be doing 1/6 of the work, didn't fucking appeal to me, really. And embarrassingly enough, I did get some receipts from my employer talking to my colleagues after I left, mentioning how every cent that I got was probably too much for what I was doing, and that I was some thankless little shit that exploited them. And I'm like, is that it? Well, next time you fucking call me to like put the subtitles on a 60-minute video and translate those from Swahili so that it's out by tonight, maybe I'll act busy. Maybe I'll be a little bitch. I was very vindictive for those 2 months. I was very mean-spirited. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing midweek magic. What is it this time? Phantom Sealed. Nice. I forgot why we were even here. Ah. Got a badge them all. Red, green. Do we put some white in there too? It's a 40 card deck. I don't know if this will work at all. I'm willing to try. Do I have any allies? 6. Ah. Sorry, it feels like I was bragging for like the last hour. I'm not usually one to tell stories of my experiences, to say the least. I'm a little bit frugal like that. Let's see if this crappy deck does anything. That's what I'm really interested in. Look at this fantastic, very, like, I suppose you'd call it graphic. Yeah, it shows why I've been at this for 10 years and not doing it. I don't know if I'm particularly private. I've said a lot of crap I shouldn't say. Yeah, badge 'em all cut, man. Like, me and Ted have this bit, or I guess I have this bit and Ted just likes it. That's like every time you think about what to say when you're playing a video game, you have to like find the nearest thing and like point at it. The originator was when I was doing Infamous playthrough. It's like a PS3 game that's kind of superhero-ish, back from like 2010. And I would walk around the streets of, what is it? It's not New Marais. It's like Seattle. And as I do that, I would look at every single trash can and point it out. And so I just walk the streets and be like, oh look, a trash can. Oh, guys, you won't believe it. Look at that. That's a fucking trash can right there. Oh, you know what I think I see right there? Right in the distance? Yeah, you're right. There she is. That's a trash can. And I kept that shit up for like a month. Like every time I see anything in a video game now, it's, oh look, a trash can. And that was mostly because the advice you would get back in the day for streaming was, hey, literally just talk about whatever you see in the video game, you know? About things you're, you're thinking about. Earth Bend 1. Earth Bend 1. Smiles. And now this bit, which has been going on for what feels like 7 years probably at this time, has entered new horizons. Like, oh look, a cabbage. Oh look, compassionate healer. I just love pointing things out in video games because that's what people do instead of saying interesting things, isn't it? It's like, oh yeah, it's pretty fucking tight. Do damage equal to the number of lands you control a target creature. Yeah, you block some of this shit. Probably could have won if it wasn't a bitch. Oh look, a swamp. I wonder what they'll cast next. Oh, I gotta kill that. I'm doing it. I'm gonna blow it up. Just wait. Hey. Cabbage merchant. I probably could have won if I didn't cast the cabbage merchant. I would have won if I didn't cast the cabbage merchant, is what I wanted to say. But I'm a dunce. See that? Now we get to play one more round, in which he wipes my entire board by a miracle. Okay, he gives up. It's like I won last turn, except he had a choice. Why do I keep doing this to myself? I don't know if you've had an observation like that, Kat, but sometimes I look at the shit I play on a daily basis and it's like Dota, Mahjong, Magic. And then like I go and do something stupid and play another stupid, complex, hard game. And I'm like, why can't I just do, I don't know, Animal Crossing? Why can't I do Pictionary? Why can't I, like, just do something simple for once? Is that some kind of a... Is it similar to the TCG with the energy and the prize cards and the EX evolutions and shit? I haven't... Like, the last time I touched a Pokemon thing, video game championships, oh, as in like, aha. Oh, I know some people that are kind of aware of that. Those are the peoples that talk of EVs and IVs. Like, do you understand those words? Yes. See, I know things. I am much wiser than I initially let on. That seems entertaining. I've personally never been too much into it. channel called Wolfie VGC, who makes recap videos about the tournaments he participates in. I got baited in by that. I have had the unfortunate situation occur recently of me slowly but surely starting to watch League of Legends people again. And I'm a Dota guy, you know? I wouldn't for the life of me. No, I'm not going to play it, but I'm interested in watching these people talk about their game with like a fanaticism. Like, there is this guy who I was convinced was Spanish because he has this little sort of way to his voice, you know, where the 17 comes from. But he doesn't speak like this. He speaks very similarly. And I thought that was Spanish. But it is actually a guy from Finland that goes helvete fita at everything. And I like, what the fuck? You cannot be Finnish. This is not impossible. There is no way you're from Finland. But he is. And he just plays one character and he experiments. Like he theory crafts very intently. Which I find super entertaining. Because I haven't seen any other person in League not follow the mob mentality and like do the agreed upon thing that everyone else does. They're very kind of hive-minded. Not that Dota players aren't, but like Dota at least you have like some people who are weird. Can I do this? Sorry, I'm thinking very advanced stuff. Surely. And like just today, I caught myself watching some random recommendation of some guy trying to make a career out of this internet thing by being like, I was the one viewer in a big streamer tournament where he goes and wins one round and loses 4, but that's still content, right? That is still something that people are doing. And I seriously sat there and watched it, and then after it was done, I felt like, what am I doing again? Just put as much crap as I can. Sorry, I concentrated a little bit on what I'm actually doing, even though it doesn't really matter. Okay. I want to attack with you, you, and you. Yeah, but this wasn't even a good underdog story. It was just literally him showing up, posturing kind of aggressively, because obviously big personalities are more attractive to the youth nowadays. And, can I do anything to counter this? But I had more power than that! Power For a grid, I had to have less power. Okay, well, I tried. Reading the card explains the card, Artie. Come on. I don't know what I'm doing. Fuck me. This guy has a pit rock. And I have a cabbage. This is what Magic the Gathering has turned into. This used to be an institution. The way you get the cabbage, for those of you out there who are, I don't know, mildly interested in the Magic the Gathering, is by destroying this cabbage thing here, and then you'll get an email that gives you the cabbage. It's quite odd. Can you buff this to be... Well, I have a lot more mana. I control 10 lands. Let's just hit you very hard. Can block some of these. The annoying thing about Magic the Gathering Arena is that some players, instead of thinking, will choose to essentially wait out timers, and there's no punishment for that. So sometimes when you're playing ranked and you're doing really good, you will inevitably find yourself kind of getting stalled out. I don't think people will intentionally do that. Magic, unfortunately, has decks that are borderline heretical in terms of what they do to what is the understand as the base rules of the game. Like, there is such a card that will take all of these lands that I have, as in my mana, as in the resource that I use to play my cards, and it will turn them all into a different color so that none of the cards in my deck can be played. There are cards at turn 3 that can remove everything on the field. You can block 2. Okay, still has to block 2. Just heal and protect for 100 turns while your opponent bleeds out. Magic has the concept of a prison deck, which will stop you from casting anything of a certain mana cost, will stop you from being able to use mana, will, like, it will make you not be able to play. Like, your only option is, let me find you the most wonderful Magic card to ever exist. I would very much like your opinion on it. It's called Platinum Angel. And I will send you what I believe is a link to an image. It might be very long. I don't know if it got sent or not. You tell me. If not, you can find it by just typing in Magic Platinum Angel. And like, just read its effect. You know? Just get a vibe for it. Isn't it just mwah? Isn't it just, no, that's a real card that you could play. That's 100% real. And then, just to like complete your image, I give you this, which is slightly different. Like, this is why I think Magic is like the shit. No, it's not that you lose instantly, is that you can't win and your opponent can't lose. As in, if you run out of health, well, I guess it works better for the Platinum Angel. Like, if you kill them and the health goes below 0, you still don't win. So the match isn't over. They go into minus health until that thing is gone. Like, Magic has this willingness to, like, fuck with you, you know? And I don't know, what's another stupid fucking card? They've obviously printed a bunch of these. There's a deck that was called Oops All Spells, which didn't have any lands in it, because the idea was that on turn 1, if you draw the correct cards, you draw something that costs 0 mana that gives you like a mana, and then you spend that 1 mana to cost something that gives you 2 mana, and then you do that until you get to like 3 or so mana. Then you cast an actual spell that puts your entire deck into your graveyard, and then you get to pick a card from your graveyard that wins if you essentially have more cards in your graveyard than your opponent. And that was like it. It didn't have half of the shit. It didn't have, I think it had a couple of creatures, but obviously like Oops All Spells in Magic is like a weird thing, because every creature is technically a spell that you play. It's like a little bit of a fine print sort of manipulation. And like Magic has just beautiful crap like this, you know? That's why I like playing it. I'm never gonna really buy cardboard anymore, because the last time I bought it, it was affordable, and now it costs remortgaging your house to do it. Like a card of, what was it? A pack of 15 cards from the newest Avatar set, which I'm currently kind of playing, in physical, would be like $250. For 15 cards! And I need 4 copies of a fucking rare that I get 1 of per in a pack to make some decks. And I might not get the ones I want. So what the fuck? How much money am I supposed to spend on these fucking decks? This guy has turn 1. And this creature dies this bend. Oh. Yeah. I want to make a deck around this card at some point. Because I am particularly avid about green. Oh, man. Alright. Alright, man. No need to... Yeah, you can have that. The concept of Pokemon VGC. There's a strategy called Perish Trap, where you have a Pokemon with the ability Shadow Tag, which prevents them from switching out, but not you. And pair it with a move called Perish. Oh, you gave me Toth back? You know I can Earthbend a second thing now, right? Gave me 1 more mana. What the fuck? Alright. Sorry, I was reading something. Which prevents them from switching out, but not you. And pair it with a move called Perish Song that makes everything on the field faint in 3 turns. So you can just stall out those turns and then switch out and your opponent dies automatically. That's funny. They faint in speed order too, so if you have at least 1 slower guy on your side, you can even do it to finish a game. Your Pokemon die and you still win. People will do anything to win in video games, man. That's why... And I don't know. I had a stupid deck in Magic. Me and my mate Ice were playing very avidly for a couple of months. And he made this deck that is essentially only removal. The point of the deck is to, when the opponent casts something, you either put it back in their hand or you remove it. Why? So that they get annoyed and concede. It actually does not have any win condition inside of it. The win condition is the opponent is annoyed and concedes. And then, because obviously he would play that against me, I created a deck that requires infinitely more resources to, like, remove. I basically made everything on the board cost him more to remove so that he couldn't remove everything. And then even if he removed it, it would spawn more new things. And so this was this kind of like yin and yang sort of situation where I was making the counter deck to his counter deck. And it was like just an infinite abyss of hatred. Oh, I can put a 1/1 counter on this creature. I think I watched some video, I forget it was about Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! About some deck designed to just very slowly keep running infinitely and run the timer down. Since you've got a called time at some point in our tourney. There is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck that I know of. Its whole gimmick was because there was no standard for essentially how large a deck could be. There was no maximum size, there's only a minimum. What would happen is they brought like 1,000 card deck to a real tournament. Apparently those people were judges of some variety. And the whole point of the deck was to constantly make them search for stuff in the deck and then have the opponent shuffle it. Which, obviously, what counts as a shuffling of 1,000 card deck that is about... I mean, I can't really show it because my camera's blocking me out. But, like, this is 1/5 of it in length. You know, they had to carry it over two people's shoulders like it's a log. Was Yu-Gi-Oh? Let me see if we're talking about the same thing. No. But I'll see this at some point, too. I love me stupid card game stuff. Magic has an interesting channel. I think it's called Ristic Studies. Let me see if it is. It's named after a card, obviously. Oh, it's my turn again. God damn it. Ristic Studies. Yeah. It's my turn. Oh yeah, I love doing that too. This Ristic Studies. He makes essentially documentary stuff about magic and its history. And I think they're very entertaining. To me, they're amazing. They're very good. Very good. And I think they have a video about Oops All Spells somewhere in there. Or like stuff like the Black Lotus, which is obviously a fan favorite thing. God damn it. Alright, I'm gonna need to spend a little bit more mana. God, he's casting spells. How is he drawing so much? Oh, you gave him indestructible. Should have blocked that second one. God damn it. And he's drawing again. He has blue in there too. What color don't you have? Could have fucking... God damn it. Oh. He's actually borderline playing every color. Look at that. Yeah, congratulations. I literally have nothing. You keep on fucking ruining my shit. Like, I realistically don't even have to keep playing. I think I got most of my rewards for today. And I did the midweek magic, which is a fun thing. Every Wednesday, at least on Arena, you get to, like, try out some stupid ideas and play on a rather even playing field with other people. Just make a silly deck and fight against some seriously unoptimized shit. I'm just playing 2 mana per turn and hoping that at some point I draw something that makes it all worth it. This is ramp for ramp's sake. This is no helping. Sacrifice this land, draw a card. God damn it. Ah. I'm gonna save the boomy bash for something as annoying as that. There's like an infinite combo that they discovered like a day in. With that fucking card. Sometimes the magic of valid strategy is, I feel, to annoy your opponent by forcing them to play their deck. Because there's a lot of like, look at the top card of your deck and then shuffle it back in. So like sometimes if their deck has a bunch of effects, it's more painful to make them keep playing it and not concede. And obviously he has black cards in his hand, so he's going to remove something. You know, every time he does it, he has to look at a card and then say yes or no to it. So you just fucking instantly, like you play a card, gone. Actually, it's fucking gone. And now I'm gonna draw a land. Okay, not a land. It's a 7/7. With reach. Which he's gonna remove, no doubt. Alright, now because he cast that, he gets to just kill me. That was such a fucking slugfest. That was crazy. God, that reminds me, I do have that. I was supposed to write a review for Lady Snowblood, which, for those of you not in the know, is a 1973 Japanese film. It is essentially the big inspiration behind Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill Volume 1. And me and friend of the show, Saint, watched that yesterday in a fit of crazed rage after guzzling down two episodes of The X-Files and one single viewing of Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown. And, you know, at the end of that, we ended up watching it, exited the fucking viewing, changed. Because that movie is so fucking cool, you wouldn't believe it. Did I play 2 red mana in a row when I have Badger Monk up? Did I just do that? I did. Films are good. They're also a medium of art. Well, you say that, but there is such a thing. It is an unfortunate website full of desperate souls called Letterboxd. That, you know, is basically my anime list for... And I sort of happen to be a frequent user. To my great shame. But like, my hobby for maybe the last, I don't know, since I graduated, so it must be like the last 4, no, 4 is probably too much, 3 years, has been sitting there writing reviews for shitty films on their website, and it's been quite riveting. Have you heard that Cena 2 Noodle thing? Yes, I've seen it be played by exactly Northern Lion. And I do find it impressive that he is so... How should I put it? Like, he's obviously very knowledgeable about it, for no good reason. But then I also think about it as, like, there is such a thing as a book move in that, where, like, you play a couple of rounds and you see some people answer certain films with something very complex, and then you, oh, that film has Salma Hayek in it. All right, that's something I can get for the next thing. And it becomes this, like, weird metagame where you might not have seen the film, but you can just, like, pull one out of your ass. Which I find kind of interesting, you know? It's like the simulation of actual knowledge in a place where it would be actually useful. Yeah. I mean, that's what being an entertainer is, I suppose. I wouldn't know. Like, watching that makes me feel a little bit pedestrian in my tastes. Like, I watch a lot of obscure films, and, like, if I were to play it, as I am so often tempted, I feel like the way I would make people lose most of the time is by, like, putting them in, like, Japanese cinema or something like that, or like Eastern European cinema, because there's no way the average American that's fed on Hollywood productions could do that. But then again, I am unfortunately also cursed with the knowledge of films that possibly aren't in the repertoire of those like, games. Like, yeah, I could tell you about Ryuhei Kitamura's Sky High and 2LDK project, along with Inugami, which was a collaborative project with, what's his name? The guy that made Versus, and it was called the Duel Project. And like, then you get into the Takashi Mikas of like, oh, have you seen Zebra Man 2? Dog, you haven't seen Zebra Man? Love exposure. Sion Sono anti-porno type of fucking recommendation. You know? You could pull out all the stops. Target permanent card from your graveyard. This doesn't help me. Yeah, I imagine. God, this guy has some nice lands. Nice lands, buddy. Who do you think you are, huh? I don't know how people are so confident playing 3 colors. I feel like I would bung it. So hard. Are the different colors like incompatible with support or spell cards or other colors? Well, you have to pay the type of mana that is in the top right corner. You can kind of see it here. So if you have a lot of cards that are of a certain type, you can't cast them if you don't have the proper mana. But it's also in Magic there are like archetypes where like red creatures are usually small, but they're like have haste, so they can attack on the first round. Sorry, that shook me up a little bit. He took my actual fucking... I don't know what he did. Like, green is associated with, like, having cards that allow you to draw into more mana. Or, like, have creatures get +1/+1 and, like, grow bigger creatures or cast bigger creatures earlier. Blue mana is, like, counter spells and card draw. White is usually, like, enchantments. This guy's fucking me. So he just gets to own this permanently. That is fucking nuts. I have to kill my own creature. And the idea is that, like, if I combine red and green, I essentially have really cheap removal spells that deal a little bit of damage, so I can remove a bunch of small creatures, or I can cast a bunch of small creatures that are aggro. But because I'm ramping mana on the side as well, I get to, like, do more of that. As in where if I was just playing mono red, as in there's no other color but red, there would be like a deficiency there, so you're kind of covering for things that you don't have. And obviously you could take this so far that you have all 5 colors available at the same time. I don't know if there is a most people thing. I think a lot of people play what's the most popular. And other than that, like, anything goes. Like, you can have a preference, obviously. I am very partial to, like, a certain type of green-blue, because green-blue is annoying because it lets you draw into the cards you want, and it lets you pay for them earlier. So you're just kind of always ahead. But, like, every combination obviously has its weakness, and depending on the cards you have, it's also a little bit more to think of. Like, you eventually start seeing archetypes. Still dies. Interesting to see the data on that. Pokemon VGC stuff, they have some tournament data. Bot scraping stuff, they try and figure out stats for Pokemon. Oh, for this has been almost like data mined to shit. Like, I could give you 7 websites that give you, like, deck win rates. Obviously, after a new set releases, it takes a while. Like, even now, I am using a little application that shares my logs with people. And, like, when I get certain cards, it tells me, okay, this is a deck that has this card in it. Maybe you could look at what available archetypes there are. You don't need to give them your telemetry data, really. But I don't mind it. Not for this, anyway. Okay, I can't deal with that. Those are really fucking big. So, like, in Magic, there's very much a point where you see, like, oh, I would need to draw, like, 3 more cards to be able to do this. And because you're also drawing the cards that are your mana, you could have situations where, like, either you're drawing 1 land at the start, and you have 1 mana, and then the next 5 turns you don't get shit, so you can't cast anything that doesn't cost 1, or you're drawing so much land and nothing else that is actually useful. you're basically just, okay, I have mana, but nothing to play with it. So there's this balancing act between how much mana am I putting in a deck and, you know, how much functional shit I'm putting in it. Discards a card. I'll discard a land. This is one of the stronger cards in the current set because it lets you get more mana for fucking nothing. As in, I could cast this turn. And now you do this. He doesn't know how much of a favor he did me. Or maybe I did him too much of a favor. Okay, maybe now. I should kill that. I have 4. See, now I have to hope I draw a land. I didn't draw a land. Keeps doing it. Next turn, though. Maybe it'll be 2 turns. He's gonna get like 10 free damage for this. How do you have so much big shit? Okay. And I have bend 1. Oh, you also do that? Okay. It's not enough that you Earthbend 2. It's such a fucking strong card. Daily agents. Holy crap. He's looking through my graveyard for something. this is spiraling out of fucking control. Yeah, you better. You better sacrifice all of that. Oh, God, the fuck off. Really? Is that even in the set? It is. Thank you. Yes! I top decked that solution. That was... Oh, that felt so good. You got a pull, I got a pull. We all feel good. Glacier Godmaw. That's such cool art. It's very, Millennium Falcon escapes the fucking thing. How many wins am I today? I could do 2 more. And this is just like a sealed deck. This is like me opening, what is it, fucking 5 packs and seeing what's in there. 6. Just bumming around. Imagine if I actually put my mind to it. What is this? What is this notification? New thing. Someone messaged me. Oh, a robot. No mutual friend, no mutual servers. Oh, well, I guess you're not here and you won't be anytime soon. Search your library for basic lands. Oh, yes. I actually get to do this combo. I love this. It was so natural. Came to me in a vision. Death touch. You let it through? Alright. Mm-hmm. God damn it. God. Just. And you're not gonna search for a basic land again? Can you even pay for it? I'm running out of lands. Top is a fucking bitchin'. can you have so many lessons? Is that allowed? Okay, it's time for the pain zone. Why don't I just swing next to... God, you have such big creatures. What is this? 5-4? 3-4? God damn it. Come on, sacrifice it. I did clear damage though, so it's all on tapping. Okay. Why is that card so fucking functional? You just have it on and it earth bends. And every lesson you fucking pluck from it. Can still do it. Can still do it. God, he has so much more cards. How is he even fucking drawing? How is he doing it? Come on. Oh, and it's just that. Yeah, well, I fucking give up. I can't. There's just so much free shit. This bending is busted. And that's even without the stupid thing. The Badgermore Cub lets you tap it for 2 mana. The reason why Badgermore Cub is busted is because elves also work that way. So you have elves and earthbended lands. I have my combo in there. Haru hidden talent. He's doing it too. Or do you have this? Don't tell me you have a wipe of some variety. Okay, have one of those. Earth King is still around there. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Nice. Ah. It's so nice when I draw that first opening hand, even though it was 6 cards instead of 7. It's quite confident. Mm-hmm. Do I do Ira's demonstration? Yes. Yes, I do. I have nothing else. I will also Ira's demonstration this. Please? Please no counterspell? I don't even know if you can get a counterspell in this. I'm hoping you can't. I'm betting the kingdom on it. Yes! Man, I get four flying? And you had to use a removal for it? I'm happy. Think about it. Bitch. Oh, yeah. And you got it tapped. You had to spend 3 fucking cards on that. 3. 3 for 1. I need the big rock, is what I need. Give me a huge boulder to cast and smite my enemies with. That is not it. Bro, I'll get you. I'll chuck a big rock at that magical 5/5 you have. It's really blocked my fucking chances. Guess what? Next turn, buddy. God, oh, that card. Yeah, this deck just doesn't have removal. It doesn't have the red bit of red. How do these people draw so many lessons? What the fuck? I haven't been able to remove anything. Like half an hour. And he's just enchanted it. Like, how are you getting so much removal? Nothing I can fucking do. Like, I have all of this, and it doesn't go anywhere. So unfortunate. Okay, we have a Badgemore cub, that's for sure. That is gas. For my furnace. What do you got? Yeah, you better island cycle. Three-five. I have nothing in this entire deck that can deal with the 3-5. I'm convinced. Wait. Wait. Was that second round? Did they have a little crossed sword that means they might not be able to... block my shit. Burden of proof. There we go. That's all my stuff for 12 hours. I'm done with magic. Let's get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna go watch TV and be lazy. Good night. Thanks for hanging. Maybe more mahjong tomorrow if I can muster it. We'll see. See you then. Bye.